Final word. Man. Let's go.
Yep.
All right.
You already know.
Right.
Final word. Freestyle Wednesday.
Let's keep it real, bro. Who mad that we not in the Super Bowl? Because I'm low-key mad right now. I'm serious.
Oh, let me fix up the title over here. I forgot. I think you need to fix the title.
Oh, I didn't fix the title.
That's okay. That's okay. Let
see
them wait.
I see it. Let me fix it too.
The final word.
All right, y'all. Hey, man, we flying planes. We always doing that. Hey, that's what it is.
Come on.
But yeah, I'm a low-key mad, man. We not in that old Super Bowl, bro.
Mama said there'll be days just like this, though.
Yeah. Hey, but we got that boy Jay Tuck in the building. Tuck, say what's up to the people, dog. Hold on, where Tuck at, man? Hold on, man. What Tuck? Wait, did I cut Tuck off? I might have cut him off. Let me make sure we got Tuck rolling. Yeah, I told y'all I was gonna take a couple of weeks to get. Oh, I got you.
It's Murphy Law, man.
I ain't go Tuck. Go.
Hey, man. Hey, turn me up, man. Hey.
Final word.
Hey, you can't be mute.
Final word.
Yo, I'm ready, man. Grass is what I love.
My bad, dog. My bad. Oh, man. I'm excited, bro. We got Tuck in the building, man. We got that boy Big. We got DMV coming next week, dog. It's finna be going down on this draft show. Trust me, we all got our lists. We got our favorites. We got our free agents. Boy, it's going down. Yeah, man. So Tuck, man, since you definitely coming in on the final word, bruh. You the person that's completing this thing. What's your thoughts so far, big dog? What's your thoughts?
Yeah, man. Like I said, I'm happy to be here. Like, I don't want to say like this is I'm joining as a partnership, man, because we all family. I talk to each and every one of y'all constantly, man. But I'm excited to be here. I think it's going to be good for Cowboys Nation, putting some of the best draft minds together and collaborating on different ideas because we all want the same thing, putting the best product on the field for our Dallas Cowboys, man. So I'm excited. We have some good conversations. Like I said, I'm not saying this is going to be the best draft show out there, but I feel like people are going to say it once they see it. So
the final word.
I think it's gonna get there. Let's be honest, man. Like my boy Big told me, man, when we first started rocking together, he said, man, we're a basketball team, and eventually we gonna start knowing each other and knowing when that bounce pass is coming. He was all right on that. So you the KD, man. So
yeah,
KD, dog.
I'm not the Kyrie because I showed
I'm
up on
Kyrie.
time.
No, I'm Kyrie. Tuck cannot be Kyrie.
I ain't Kyrie, man. I showed up on time, man. That's the game. Showed up late.
Hey, there it is, bro. All right. Yeah, man, I'm excited,
Shout out to the
man.
Mavs, though. Shout out to the Mavs.
Yeah, the Mavs, especially because we the king of the Lakers, you feel me?
Whooping
The
Taz.
final word.
Yeah, man.
It's okay.
Tell LeBron, be happy with your scoring champ. Salutes to you, but you ain't going to the playoffs, big dog.
he will be in LeBron James fashion, right? To get the record and lose.
Oh, Stat King. Listen, if it's a GOAT for stats, he the GOAT. Let's kick it out. Ooh, knew it. Wait, what is that? Have y'all seen that before? Let's go. Come on.
Yeah, I just wanna run it up. Count a check or something. I've been really in the field, let up. Yeah. I've been really in the field, let her rush, I love the feel. Lately, I just wanna run it up. Don't need no deals, I make the deal. Have a ticket to it.
Let's go.
And if it was up to me, if it was up to little old me to make a pick, it would probably go a little something like this. And with the 17th pick of the 2020 Dallas Cowboys NFL Draft, the Dallas Cowboys select CeeDee Lamb. Oh,
Wizard.
Let's go, man. It's new, baby. Let's go. Fight word. We up in here, baby. Let's let it be known, baby. It's draft time. It's the free agent time. Let's go with J Tuck and DMB.
I will move down.
The smart thing would be to move down, but the Cowboys historically don't.
Boss could be a trade down here with Justin. We got to trade. We got to trade. We got to trade.
I said this is the place to move.
We were just sitting here talking Justin Fields.
I said it loud and clear. This is the place to move down.
Go hard.
Go hard.
Go home.
Go home.
Go hard.
Go hard.
Go home.
Go home.
Go hard. Go hard. Go home. Go home. Go hard. Go hard. Go home. Touchdown like the end zone. When the circle turn to my home, can't get me out of my zone. Go hard. Go hard. Go home. Go home.
I love Parsons as a rush defensive end, right? If you draft him and you put him on the end, turn him into another DeMarcus Ware. Let him rush the quarterback, get upfield, and create damage to the other opposing offense.
We got the pick.
Man, here it is.
We got the pick.
Yeah, this gotta be Parsons. Like, Parsons the best player available.
Go home. Yeah, these championship rings on my hands now. In my head, I'm top 10, yeah, that's hands down. You a squad, now you're looking man down. Funny how foes turn to friends now.
So the Cowboys just selected Jake Ferguson with pick 129. Hey, I'm good. I love the pick. I love the player. I know that a lot of people will say that this is probably a reach. This is about where I had Jake Ferguson. Really solid player from Wisconsin. He can do all of it. He can block. He can run routes. He can actually make people miss in the open field.
Have a race car like a tornado. Call filling up, I need product again. Treat the business like a playground, might slide on you. Do me wrong, might fly on you. Do a backflip, cause I'm mad rich. I'm the definition of what that is. Go hard. Go home. Go hard. Go hard. Go home. Go hard. Go home. Go hard. Go home.
Let's go.
Touchdown like the end zone. When the circle turn to my home, can't get me out of my zone. Go hard. Go hard. Go home. Go hard. Go home.
Y'all thought y'all was gonna hear run it up. We flipped it on y'all. What's up, man?
Yeah.
Let's kick.
What's good?
That intro's hard, man.
Man, you like that Tuck? Man,
That intro is hard, bro.
Especially hearing that from Tuck, bro. Yeah,
man,
bro.
It shows the power of the community, man. That was my second video I ever recorded. Was that CeeDee Lamb video, man?
Wow.
So we come a long way. Yeah, that's my second video on my channel. Was the CeeDee Lamb draft video, man. And everyone called me crazy. There's no chance that a wide receiver like that's gonna be there at 17. Now look, man. Hey,
Man, what was up with that music in the back, though, bro?
yeah, you see the layout was horrible. This room was empty, bro. It was just me on the lap. It was just me on the laptop trying to make something happen, man. You know what I'm saying? But, hey, it's all about the evolution here. Now we got merch. You know what I'm saying?
Boy, yeah, you done came up. Jay Tuck look different. Now he work for ESPN. What's going on? What's going on, bro? Boys moving up in the world. All right, let me fix the OC real quick because we got him in the back. Y'all give me a second to fix that. He showed up right on time as usual. Give me 1 second. OC, you got to fix your camera, big dog. Okay, well, he in the back. I don't want to turn this camera on because it's looking funny. All right, but let's go and get into this content real quick. Yeah, so basically, man, we gonna start with these free agents. All right, we gonna always start with that first, generally on this show, and I want to kind of get y'all thoughts on it first, man. And then we always start with the big homie, Big Game James. You got your list, big dog. We gonna kind of talk about it. But first, like, what's your thoughts on kind of like the free agent market as we kind of glance through it and as you glance through it? And then we go kind of spin that off into the draft. And I'm gonna get, we gonna go around the circle on this.
When I look at this wide receiver free agent class, it's not that great. It's not
Straight up
outstanding by any means. You don't have any guys that really stand out. But you know what? That's could be to Dallas's favor. Maybe they can get somebody where they don't have to spend a lot of money because the market isn't big. So that's what I'll lean off of. So yeah, sounding free agent class, but you know, you can get maybe some quality players that can, you know, make some moves for you. Like I said, there's a couple guys that I want me to throw them out there right now. I can. Let me do that.
Let me go look at this PowerPoint list I got for you, bro, because you got your names up here. Let me go and pull it up. Y'all be patient with me, man. You know, we flying planes over here. All right, so I'm pulling it up, big dog. All right, so here.
And while you doing that, real quick, boss, shout out to Matt Batten with a $10 super chat, man. He said, "Hey, how are you doing tonight, Boss Cowboy? CFO Sports Law, Big Game, James OC. I love my Dallas Cowboys creator, DC Cal. Love you guys, man. So appreciate it.
Appreciate it, man.
And then also, you might have to come out and come in. You know how it is. It's always a Wi-Fi month, so they get you an initial one, and then we go get you all the way right. All right, so now we got the OC working on that. But I got your list up, Big. So let's go ahead and go through your list, and then we go kind of comb through all this stuff together, big dog. All right, so here we go. So we got the boy Big right here. Let's get it. All right, so Big, your major draft prospects is Jackson, Zay, Jalin, but your free agents, that's what we're dealing with, is DJ Chark and Paris Campbell. So yeah, what's your thoughts on that, big dog?
Well, first I'll do the lower part, which is Paris Campbell. I kind of just been looking at him the last 2 or 3 days. One of the things that I really look at Paris Campbell, he, you know, was drafted in this by the Colts. Didn't have a really a good career. Injury, had a lot of injuries. But he's young. He's 25 years old. He's not going to be expensive. What I'm looking for the Cowboys side, right? Because they don't spend no that. So I'm looking young. He's athletic. You know, he's got good get off. And I just feel like the biggest thing is he doesn't have a lot of tread on the tires. You work with a guy like this because he's young and athletic, and he could be a guy that you could possibly use in a rotation, because obviously we want to see Jalen Tolbert, right? We want to see him up his game. You got Michael Gallup still there. And then remember, they picked up James Washington, as Law Nation says. They picked him up last year. So picking up a guy like Paris Campbell can't hurt you. Like I said, 25 years old. He's not going to cost you any. I think they had the number for him. You get a 2-year deal for him and then kind of see how it goes. But he adds a speed element to your team. And I ain't going to lie, I like Ohio State receivers. That's one of the reasons why Jackson's up there. Brian Hartline, you know, I'm out here in Columbus, Ohio, so I get to see Ohio State all the time. And Brian Hartline is he was a good Ohio State. I think he's a receivers coach out there. And I just think, you know, when the Ohio State guys get it, if you get them with the right type of system, they produce. And I feel like, you know, they haven't really had the quarterbacks there. You know, Andrew Luck left, and they just been kind of quarterbacks, Matt Ryan and Wentz. So they haven't had really a guy there, right? So he hasn't had really a quarterback to really do anything with him. So you can throw a Dak Prescott in with them, see what happens with that. That's why I kind of threw him out there, and I was cool with him, kind of, you know, kind of wait and see with him. And like I said, I like the prospects of him because he's young, he's athletic, and I like the Ohio State genes. I think they can come out there and produce because, you know, I think the Colts had good quarterback play when he was there. So that's why he's an option for me. DJ Chark is a guy that I've been liking for 3 years. I liked DJ Chark when he came out of college. And you saw he had one really good year. I think it was 2019. I don't know if it was Nick whole time, but he had a 1,000-yard season. He was explosive year. I mean, he had a couple games. I think he had one game. He had like 4 catches. He had like 136 yards. So he's very good. You see the size. He's 6'4", legit 6'4", a legit 4.3 speed. And I think he's my coveted guy because we don't have that speed. We still haven't had, except if you look at Turpin, like a 4.4 guy. We've had 4 guys. We haven't really had the speed element, and we haven't had a really size element. We haven't had really big receivers with speed. And when you look at him last year, the only problem with him is injuries, okay? But Cowboys love signing players with injuries, right? They do good with injuries.
They do good
great
with
with
it.
people with injuries.
Yeah.
So that's why I said Parrish Campbell and DJ Chark would be Dallas because they done had injuries. You signed Michael Gallup, didn't you? He had a torn ACL in him. So I don't know why you would not try this. I think he had like 500 yards. He missed like 6 games, but the last part of the season, he looked really good. You know, he was showing that explosiveness that he can for the team. I think if you add him with a CeeDee Lamb plays heavily in the slot, right? He can play that outside for you. He can get downfield. You can hit him over the middle. And what they're trying now, right? The West Coast offense hitting guys in deep. And I just think DJ Chark will be a great element. If you added DJ Chark, CeeDee Lamb, Michael Gallup, Jalen Tolbert, I wouldn't feel about that at all. I would be very happy with that. Like I said, the biggest thing that's with Chark is just the injuries. But as I said, let's deal with them. And he still played 11 games. So, and I think he could be affordable. You got Michael Gallup making like, what, $10 million? I definitely think this is a guy that you can get. He made it. But I think this is the guy that I really, really like. I've been liking him. And I think the Cowboys should make a pull for him to see what can happen with him.
Man, and I'm going to say this, and then I'm going to go around the circle to the other guys and talk about their free agents. But first of all, y'all clap it up for Big. That's a damn good list of free agents. Because one thing about those free agents is those are not big names, like everybody not looking at that. But it's also that they fit the Dallas Cowboys profile where they former second rounders, first rounders. Good job, Big. Y'all clap it up for Big, man. That's a good one, Big. Clap it up. Y'all clap it up.
Appreciate you. No claps.
No, we clapping for you, dog. All right, now we gonna be courteous, man. Let's take it to the new blood, the new guy with a final word. Wait, with the new guy, Mr. J Tuck. Talk to us, Tuck. Well, what you got going on your list, boy?
Yeah, so when it comes to my free agents, I got a few that Big Game already had, and I'll start with DJ Chark as well. I think that he's going to be the perfect, wide receiver you can plug into this West Coast offense. But we also got to consider when you look at Michael Gallup's contract as well, there's a possibility the Dallas Cowboys could be moving on from Michael Gallup after next year because he has that 2-year out. So to have another young kind of wide receiver that can come out there, have size and really stretch the field, I think DJ Chark can really step in. Now, Keenan Allen, though he isn't a free agent, the rumors circulating with him possibly being cut and released, he fits definitely in that Cowboys mode of a veteran guy, a route runner, very quarterback friendly. Has some injuries, right? But like y'all said, we do well with injuries. So if you can get Keenan Allen for maybe kind of a rental, kind of a veteran guy to kind of come in, be your safety blanket for Dak Prescott, that'll definitely help. And then another guy who's going to be playing the Super Bowl, Mecole Hardman. Now, I'm not sure if the Chiefs are going to let him go. From what I've been hearing here in Kansas City, they're probably going to try to keep him or retain him, right? But speedster hasn't really emerged as that guy, quote unquote, because he was supposed to step in and kind of fill the void for Tyreek Hill. Has done well, but he still has the athleticism, which we desperately need with our wide receiver core. So when it comes to the free agents, those are the 3 on my list. I would start with Keenan Allen if he's cut and released from the Chargers. But also, I agree with Big Game James going with DJ Chark as well, because I feel like he gives you that insurance policy for Michael Gallup whenever you want to move on, and just that big play down the field, vertical stretching the field type of wide receiver that I think this offense desperately needs.
Law, did you have anything on this list?
I didn't have any free agent guys. I was trying to wait until the old wait.
No. I'm talking about on his list because he brought up Keenan Allen, DJ Chark, and Hardman.
I wish I had the audio to play what Michael Irvin thought of Keenan Allen. He pretty much said that basically he want a bigger guy. He looking for someone that plays primarily X in this West Coast offense and let him roam on the outside while CeeDee Lamb continue to eat in the inside of the middle of the field. So if you're looking at something like that, I would look into the routes or into the mindset of, hey, can the Cowboys go do a trade situation as far as a DK Metcalf if he want to get out of there, or a circle back to a DJ Moore or somebody like that. Now, granted, we will have to wait and see, and I'm hearing rumors, knocking on the wood right now so that I won't jinx it, but I'm hearing that Trayvon Diggs want his brother, Stephon Diggs, to be on his team. Yeah. Yeah, that would be nice. That would be nice, right, ladies and gentlemen? He gets Stephon Diggs. But here's the thing, though. Here's the thing that I got to say. There got to be concessions made, right? You can't be asking for the sun and the moon and not willing to make concessions. Right. So by those boys being brothers, come on, man. You're going to have to give a brotherly discount because Stephon Diggs getting paid big coins. And on top of that, Trayvon Diggs is going into this mindset of making big coins. So if you want that to be a tangible thing, something got to happen. But y'all go ahead. What's y'all thoughts on that?
Yeah, I like Keenan Allen. I don't really care what Michael Irvin say on that, but at the same, but see, I also respect greatly the mind of Michael Irvin. See, because Michael Irvin, man, when you hear him talk about receiver, he be talking about inertia and all of that. Like, he gets scientific when it comes to wide receiver. But I like the list, you know, and that's why I like this show, because everybody got a slightly different list. Now, I'm going to go over my list. I don't want y'all to be angry with me. Then we going to go right into them draft choices. Oh, you also had Jalin Guyton on this list. Tuck, let's talk about that. I left him off.
Jalin Guyton's kind of been the one that's gotten away. So he was in Dallas. I forgot what year was that big game. It was like 2018, 2019, something like that.
Yeah, I think it was like 2018 or 2019. They picked
so
anyway,
he started off in Dallas, kind of on the practice squad, and Dak Prescott had a great connection with him, but for some reason they tried to get him through waivers and didn't make it. So he went to the Chargers for a little bit, and he's that big down the field stretch player that, you know, they were just using in the Chargers offense. But then just due to the wide receiver room, he kind of got squeezed out. So he's on the market. So if you're able to bring in a caliber player, Jalin Guyton, so another big wide receiver that can really stretch the field and get downfield, I'm all for it, because I feel like Dak Prescott is also comfortable with him, and he had a connection with Dak Prescott. So I would definitely be aiming for Jalin Guyton to come back to Dallas for a reunion.
Yep. I like that.
Yeah,
I like
that's
that
a
big game James guy right there.
That's a good outside the
It
box.
was 18.
That's a good
It was
one.
18 big game, James. We was out there. You was
I
yelling
earned my keep. I earned my seat now. I'm good.
Man, yeah, man, come on, man. You earned your seat before you sat down.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah.
Before you sat
Be
down.
on that
What
draft,
about
Tuck.
Drake
So you know what I'm saying?
Would you say, OC?
What about Deion Carter, LA Rams wide receiver? He's 28 years old. He had moderate production. And he
That
probably
Wi-Fi monster.
a free agent.
Ooh, wait. That Wi-Fi monster. Boy, that Wi-Fi monster winning today, dog. He winning. He is winning. He winning the fight today, dog.
Winning.
Lick back. Let your lick back.
He
Jesus.
is winning.
God,
He is
dog.
winning.
That Wi-Fi. What? All right, one more time, OC. One more.
Mic check. Am I good?
You good.
Okay.
You good.
All right. What about DeAndre Carter? Have you guys thought about him? Los Angeles again? Oh crap! Is it better? No. My mouth going slow.
No, you good, bro. Keep going, bro.
Keep fighting through.
All right. What about
for right now?
What about DeAndre?
Oh my God!
Los Angeles Rams wideout.
Oh, say!
Never
Oh, say! I get too over it.
Sound like the people up in here, man.
Oh,
Sound like he's straight underwater.
Where's the OC? OC, can you come back, please? Come back, OC.
Yeah, man.
God, just one more time, one more in and out, bro. We gonna try one more time. The fifth time gonna be a charm.
I'm the Chad Texas to this, man.
God, dog, man. Yeah, he in the boonies. It's okay. Because I really wanted to hear what he was talking about in terms of he gonna come back though. All right.
I think he was saying Deontay Johnson.
Deontay.
Oh, the kid that played for the Steelers.
Yeah, I think that's why I was trying
I heard
to
say Rams.
Yeah,
my
I
bad.
heard him say Rams too, bro. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Van Jefferson.
I think he said Rams.
Nah, yeah, I'm almost.
I know it wasn't no Van
What he
Jefferson.
said. It really is. Don't tell him.
Right.
He said, I'm whack. Sound like Jabba the Hutt. Sound like Jabba the Hutt over there.
Oh, Zay! Oh, he back. He back.
Okay, I can't see the chat too. Oh, see, another thing. I can't see the chat, dog, so I'm flying blind. You gonna have to kind of hold that chat down for me. All right, but go ahead, though.
I got you.
One more time, OC.
Can you hear me now?
You good?
Yeah.
The 8 times a charm. Oh, God.
Oh, my
Okay,
God.
my mouth going.
He catfishing. He catfishing.
My mouth slow.
Wait.
No, I'm not. I'm really not.
Oh, that was
Can
a
you
good
hear
one.
me?
That was a good one. That was a good one. Yeah, go ahead.
You sure?
Yes. You
All right.
passing the sound check.
All right, so cool, man. All right, I hope I am, man. So I'm gonna be quick just in case this thing go out again.
Go for it.
What about Byron Pringle, wide receiver from Chicago? What about also? Have you guys thought about Deontay Hardy?
That's why we want to
So
get
those
your
are a couple
list.
free agent wide receivers.
Yeah. Nah.
Nope.
Yeah. You said Deontay Hardy.
Yeah, you can take it off my face.
Yeah.
Deontay Lazarus, Brian Pringle, those 3 guys, man. I think those could be potential good inserts and value for the Dallas Cowboys at the right number that can come in and contribute and hedge your bets versus injuries and underperformance of second-year players such as Colbert, or if there's much productivity out of Michael Gallup this coming season. So just a couple ideals there. Byron Pringle, Alan Lazarus, and Deontay Hardy.
Now Deontay Hardy, his production, I'm not gonna act like I know a lot about him because I don't. But his production was kind of womp, big dog. Maybe you can explain what happened, because sometimes things happen. What happened?
Yeah, so as far as I understand, he had a little bit of an injury thing, but previous to that, he showed good upside and potential. And because of the injury factors and how Dallas rehabs injuries pretty well, and he may be like a type value when he's healthy, that's why I threw his name in the hat.
And you said Alan Lazard as well, right?
Alan Lazard, yep.
Okay, and former Packer now. Well, not former, current Packer free agent. So his production was also kind of womp, and he's really not a separating type of receiver. You think he'll be a good fit for that?
Well, he's more of a route runner, right? It's more of a route running type of offense,
really
and I think that
he's not.
You don't think he's a route runner?
No.
Is he better than Noah Brown?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, bring him on, man.
2000%. Yes.
There it is. There it is.
I'm using Noah Brown as
Noah Brown.
right
No,
now.
that makes sense, Law. I ain't gonna fight you on that, bro. I'm just
Right.
we just gotta thinking this through, man. But no,
We
I
looking
agree.
for
Law.
wide receivers better than Noah Brown and James Washington. We just need those guys to move back off, and then we need to bring in some of those guys. I like Alan Lazard.
He's a Green Bay product. He's a solid work ethic type guy from everything that I've seen. And I like Green Bay wide receivers. I think there's something to them. Normally those guys are pretty good route runners. They have pretty good ball skills and body control. And I think that, hey, he might be a valuable pick. There you go. That's my 2 cents.
All right, and so I'm gonna go ahead and get to my free agent list. I can already feel the judgment getting ready to hit me hard. I can feel the judgment getting ready to hit me.
Oh, you got Noah Brown on there?
Post that so I can give you some Justin.
Why?
You better not put Noah Brown on there.
Man, I ain't got no Noah Brown on my list.
Most of them free agents.
I can feel the judgment. I can already feel the judgment.
Let me see it. Drop that name. All right, that ain't bad. Okay, that one ain't bad.
He hiding some. What you about to?
Oh.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, there we go.
Okay.
What you setting us up for? Okay.
There it is.
Nope.
Big game, you got on TY?
We will.
Is that the wee woo dog?
Oh, you see this guy? See this guy? Number one bullshit guy. He do the wee woo.
That's the wee woo dog.
No, you got somebody else. That list ain't bad.
See, Law, you my dog.
Get
Sell these balls on that good list, Law.
Get T.Y. off.
T.Y. off.
T.Y. is important
T.Y.
because
off, bro.
T.Y. is important because C.D. Lamb came out and said, man, I learned more within 2 weeks of T.Y. telling me on certain routes than I've learned all in 3 years. So I like what T.Y. can bring to the table as far as from a knowledge aspect. And now, name me, all right, Big AJ, where was T.Y. was horrible at this year at 33?
They getting ready to fight, J Tuck. They getting ready to fight.
He saved our Christmas.
Hey, listen.
He did.
I was cool with
him.
He
did. See,
now,
listen,
y'all. I was cool with him during the season when they picked him up. That was needed for this past year. That was for this past year. Past. Let me say it one more time. P-A-S-T. Past year. Don't re-sign him. He'll be 34. No, we don't need that. I think we need.
Yeah,
and that was great with. I love the knowledge that he brings. But you know what? We don't need a T.Y. Hilton for a whole year at 34 years old. That's not scaring nobody. I'm sorry, fellas. It's not.
Yeah, I tend to agree with that, Big. I really think that, he was great this year. I think they should have gotten more productivity out of him this year. What are you going to do? Sign him to a 1-year deal, he's 34. You go sign him to a 2-year deal, he's 34, he's 35. I think there's enough talent in free agency and potential to where you can get in here. You need an infusion of youth. Good for C.D. Lamb. I hope you learned. I hope you got everything that you could out of the man. But, I mean, bringing him back beyond this year, it doesn't make as much sense, in my humble opinion, versus what you can free agency and draft, even on value picks after the first wave.
I disagree with both of y'all greatly. And Tuck, don't be shy, bro. Jump in here if you want to throw hands on these boys. Their chins are
Tuck,
wide
open,
open, bro.
Get on the
you
team,
already
Tuck.
family, big dog. Don't wait. Don't wait, Tuck.
I'm listening. I see both perspectives, right? I know Big Game wants to get younger, and I feel like you can with the draft and also with free agency. But just knowing how the Cowboys operate, I feel like it's either going to be between T.Y. or Noah Brown. Like, one of those guys is going to be brought back. And I feel like T.Y. Hilton gives us a lot more upside potential than Noah Brown, besides run blocking or whatever that is that they say he does, right? So I feel like T.Y. just wasn't used properly last year in the offense. Like, when you watch him, it wasn't that he looked stale or, he didn't have the burst. We saw the speed. He's able to get over the top. Like, he just needed to be involved more. And if you're going back to this West Coast style offense, you're going to want guys that can kind of catch and run. And that's right up T.Y.'s alley. And plus you get the mentorship for C.D. Lamb and other wide receivers. So if you're able to bring back T.Y., maybe he's your wide receiver 4, right? But I wouldn't be opposed to bringing back T.Y. Hilton. Like I said, like I'll be perfectly open for it. Now, over some of the candidates that we already listed, like a Keenan Allen, probably not. But if you're not going to get those kind of guys, or maybe an OBJ, then I would definitely consider bringing back T.Y. Hilton for another season. Sorry, Big Gang.
Yeah.
Another one.
Now, this is what Matt Bannon says real quick, guys. Real quick. This is what Matt Bannon says, the $5 super chat. He said this. He said, T.Y. is cool. He agrees in part. He says T.Y. is cool, but he's not winning us any Super Bowls, though. We need young blood. Facts, beans, and OC. Now, listen, wait a second. Now, Tuck on this. If you say Noah Brown or T.Y., okay, you win. Forget it. Give me T.Y.
Of course.
You win. If it's a choice between you win. You win on that 100%. 100%. Give me T.Y. right now. Forget it. End of discussion. All right, go ahead.
Hey,
hold up. No, you're not bowing out like that, OC. No, you're not bowing out like that, OC.
I knew y'all was gonna fight. I knew a fight was coming.
And I'm feeling what Tuck is saying now. I understand, because I understand how the Cowboys mentality.
Right.
But that just depresses me if we're going to sit there and say, no Noah Brown, just get excited about T.Y. Hilton. I'm sorry, T.Y. don't hate me now. Now, if you're excited over him over Noah Brown, that still don't excite me, because just like the OC said, is he going to get you over the hump? Is he going to be a guy? I don't know about that. And I feel like I said, he mentioned Lazard. You mentioned even, you had Odell Beckham in there. I'll take Odell Beckham up in there. You feel me? I want some explosiveness, okay? I don't know if T.Y. is gonna get that juice, and I want a little bit bigger receiver. Tuck, come on, baby, you feel me? We need some size.
I feel you on that.
Here's my thoughts on
the
all
Cowboys
of that.
thing. They just said, right, they're considering bringing old Jason Peters back, right? So you gotta, you know what I'm saying? You gotta sometimes you gotta step in that Stephen Jones lane.
And that's yucky. That's a yucky lane.
That's what
it is.
No, it's not.
Let me say this too.
It's reality.
Yeah, it is.
Y'all. If
reality. I tell y'all every Tuesday. Y'all don't want to listen to my reality. I tell y'all reality. It's Reality Tuesday every Tuesday. Y'all don't want to listen to the reality.
Now we listen to him. I think it actually works sometime though, Big. I think you're not giving the Marshalls picks enough credit sometime, bro.
Some Walmart free agents.
Them Walmart free agents be working, big dog.
And what we talking about? We talking about the fourth wide receiver, because if the hits of the draft hit correctly, your 3 wide receivers would be this: CeeDee Lamb, wide receiver 1, Michael Gallup, wide receiver 2, and Jalen Tolbert supposedly be that wide receiver 3. If anybody can teach Jalen Tolbert a thing or two, would be the TY. And that's how they got to look at this, unfortunately. Now, out of that list that you had, boss, Brandon Cook would be the guy that I really want out of everybody, because I think he is the younger out of the picks that you had on that list, right? Yeah. So you bring him in, find a way, and he's a battle warrior. He can play on the outside, he can play inside. He will work perfectly with this West Coast scheme, and he's your speed guy that can take some of the top off the defense. That will be your 4 wideouts right there, and I don't think that he ever came back from an ACL or something like that you got to worry about with Odell Beckham with 2 of those surgeries there. Is that correct?
No, I'm with you. I'm with you. Now, I want to add one more thing too, Big. Just look at this list, bro. And I'm being honest. To me, this list is terrible.
Right.
It's terrible. That's the only reason I got T.Y. Hilton on this list. You know what I mean? Because when I look at the free agent list, it's one thing that's obvious, and I want to run this by Tuck and the OC too. I'm gonna add them to what I'm getting ready to say. I want to hear what y'all thoughts on this. When you see a list full of bad, what does that say going to happen to the few of those guys that's good?
Get snatched up for a high price.
Right.
Going up.
Yeah, they go be bidded up.
Yeah, right.
So even though we like DJ Chark, and I do, in this ugly womp market,
here's the problem. Here's the problem, though. You say that, but we don't get aggressive. That's the problem. You mentioned these guys that it's not the greatest class, and they may, since that litter isn't big, the litter might get paid a little bit more, but maybe if you get a little aggressive with the player, maybe if you show the interest in, hey, I might do a little bit of this, spending a little bit, maybe the player says it to you and not go somewhere else. I mean, maybe that happens. I mean, they don't take the time to even do that. It's so cut and dry with the Cowboys with free agency. It's sad to me. I'm sorry. I don't get excited. I'm not going to get excited about T.Y. Hilton coming back. I'm not. I want to, but I'm not.
Like Boss says, right? They agents got that same list we looking at, right? So if I'm Odell Beckham Jr.'s agent, I'm like, hey, bro, we the top of the market right now. Right. What other options do you have? So that guaranteed money that he was after, this whole season was kind of dragging us along. When we taking the Mavs games and everything, he's probably going to want even more this offseason, because now he's going to be fully healthy, and he's looking like, okay, if y'all don't want to pay me what I'm worth, then all right, go ahead with Marvin Jones or whoever, I'm saying, that's on that list. So it really shifts the leverage to some of those core guys that really shouldn't be paid top value, but what other options do you got? So I think the Cowboys.
But this is my thing though, Tuck. You were flirting with Odell Beckham Jr., right? And we know about his explosive. He was probably going to cost money. So then why wouldn't you look at a DJ Chark right now? Why wouldn't you look at a DJ Chark? Because you flirted with Odell Beckham. You knew he was going to probably want money, and you saw the element he brings. Like DJ Chark doesn't have that name like an Odell Beckham, and you can slide, and I think you could get him for a good price if he got aggressive enough. you could get him for a good price. But the fact that they're scared to do that, that is the problem with me, Tuck, is that they won't even jump out there to even mess with it. And you don't even know. They could probably finagle that deal. I mean, when he signed over with Detroit 1 year, $10 million, that ain't crazy, right? Is it, Tuck, for a receiver?
Nah, but you know what they're gonna do? They're gonna wait very last minute. So they're gonna focus on the draft. That's where they're gonna try to get their wide receiver. And something doesn't work out, then camp is where they try to get active. So it sucks from a Cowboys fan's perspective because we know how this team operates by now. You know what I'm saying? So it's like they're not going to be aggressive earlier on in free agents. They're going to sign our guys first. They're going to go into the draft. Then once we get to Oxnard, we'll have the same conversation when we're in California about what wide receivers still remain. And then we'll get cherry picked and get that list wiped out first. And then we get the leftovers. So it's just how they operate, man. And I just don't see it changing. So.
Real quick.
Yeah, real quick, man. Real quick. One Hand Bandit hit it on the head, man. Y'all hit the like button real quick, man. You guys are watching us across all these platforms, on all these channels, all these great content creators, man. Show some love. Take a second. Please hit the like button, man. It helps us so much to get recommended and to grow our platforms, man. Hit the like button. Go ahead.
Real quick. That's why I honestly look forward to this show with these powerhouse thinkers, especially with the addition of J Tuck, because J Tuck, he got a fantastic resume when it come down to the off season. So it was a no-brainer that he was gonna just be a perfect fit for the Final Word edition, man. So, but the one thing I want to say is this is why we wanted to do this show, because when you look at the free agents, then look at the draft candidates, you get a bigger picture. Because that's why Brian Peter said, yep, sounds like T.Y. coming back. See, you can't say that type of stuff unless you really look at both markets. You got to look at the free agent market, then you got to look at the draft market. So now we're getting ready to turn the corner to the draft market. And we going to be courtesy to our... Go ahead.
Before you do, Boss Cowboy, let me throw something out there from Kevin McDonald, man. He brought up an excellent point, and I brought this up before too. I believe last week and this week too. What about Semi Fioku? Because we still haven't fully delved into the untapped talent that we have in our own organization. I think that he was done dirty by his Kellen.
Exactly.
I think he was done dirty. No. I think he was a guy out of Stanford that ran a 4.4. He's 24, 25 now. He's 6'3". He's 220 pounds. Man, why don't we get this guy up there, man? And I agree with that. Okay, you say no. Why? Why do you say no? Okay, why no? And Matt Batten, I see you, man. I see you, bro. Thank you for the super chat.
Well, last year, Big Game James wasn't drinking the Kool-Aid with the notion that Semi Fehoko will be the hybrid tight end, and he was right. So shout out, kudos and credence to my guy Big Game James. But I want to circle back. Come on, y'all, pull out the Kool-Aid packages, man.
Hell no.
Wait. It's way too the Kool-Aid long.
Put a Kool-Aid package in
this 4-3 Speedy Fehoko, and we ain't seen a damn thing of that.
Come on, pack it out, y'all.
Man, I ain't drinking this Kool-Aid.
Oh, you see this guy? See this guy? Number one bullshit guy. He do the wee woo.
That's some wee woo.
Okay, so all right, so let me ask this. Let me ask this. Hitting all the buttons, boss.
He gonna be.
Let me ask this question, boss. Hitting all the buttons.
Not be doing all the option routes, stop routes. They gonna utilize him finally the way they thought they was gonna do it. I know he's a little soft, Big Game, but just give the man a few times in this new system under Mike McCarthy, man. Just think of Jermichael Finley. Think of Jimmy Graham. Or think of those boys that he was worked out with before. He's going to be your new hybrid. Once again.
Oxnard Hall of Famers, man. They get us every time.
Right, exactly.
They get us all food out there in Oxnard. But the reason why they're not going to go with Simi is because we saw that interview with Jerry Jones talking about moving on from Amari Cooper and had egg on his face how they missed out on the wide receiver position this year. So I feel like the Cowboys are going to want to go in and get the for sure fix when it comes to it, whether that's a high draft pick or a quality free agent. So I don't think they're going to lean on Simi. He'll be involved, but I don't think that's the guy they're going to focus on being the guy, quote unquote, wide receiver 2 or wide receiver 3 next year. he'll just be another body out there in rotation. So I think.
No. Agreed, J Tuck. But what about a 4th or 5th wide receiver competition? That's what I'm saying. I'm saying, what about a 4th to 5th wide? Yeah, I'm not talking about the feature guy. No. Don't get me wrong. I'm talking about a 4th or 5th guy, right? What about letting the young blood compete? Now, one hand Bandit slipped in here with a super chat, but he kind of took a shot a little bit. He said he got hurt after that 10-yard catch. That's funny. Ooh. But hey, man, he got hurt.
The ponytail,
but
man.
what do you guys think about that?
The ponytail. Oh no.
And he's gonna play tight end. All right,
yeah. Koolaid.
That's your hybrid tight end.
Okay. It's a hybrid, man.
Big Game saw him sing on Hard Knocks, has been out ever since, man. They made that boy sing.
So I'm gonna tell you what this whole talk is telling me, right? Can we be honest on what this whole talk is saying? Can we be honest on what this whole talk is saying? Is we gotta draft receiver in the first 2 picks.
Right. Facts.
That's what I think. Agreed.
Yeah. That's what this is saying. There's no way you can look at this free agent market and come out just like, oh, we gonna be okay. Oh no. Just keeping it real. So now we get to get it.
But we're trusting a rookie, boss.
We got to big. And you know what? Some rookies showed up big last year.
Right.
Some, especially the premium receivers.
If we would have went wide receiver in the first 2 rounds, we probably would have hit on one of them. Like,
easy.
If we would have went with George Pickens, we could have went with here. There was a lot of options. We waited to the very last moment when things got scarce because everything got pulled, and they had to kind of settle for Jalen Tolbert, right? So it's like I feel like the Cowboys would have went.
Pickens wouldn't have turned up on a no tuck, and you know that.
He what? Say that again.
Yeah, he wouldn't pick up that play.
Would not have turned up under no damn Kellerboard tuck, and you know it.
You're right. But the talent was there. That's what I was saying. You know what I'm saying?
Right, for sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
Would have been acting a fool on them damn stop routes, right?
You know, he'd have been mad as hell. Like, oh man, if he throwing tantrums at Pittsburgh, oh my God, what he would have been doing in Dallas.
Yeah, they didn't want that dog off the leash. That's why they passed though. Like,
hey, check this out. Check this out. Somebody hit me up. My boy Dre the Great say, we want Bijan. Come on, boss. Hey, bro, I'm telling you right now, I'm not on the Bijan train. I'm off.
Are you off on the player or just draft him in the first round?
In the first round. Okay. Off. Not off on him as a player.
Any team or the Cowboys?
The Cowboys. That's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me ask y'all this, though, before we get into that. Who did we hit on last year as far as our draft? Did we really hit on Sam Williams? Did we really hit on Jalen Tolbert?
I say we definitely hit on Tyler Smith. Jesus
we
Christ,
saw some in some Sam Williams.
Yes, we did. Yes.
Tyler, I think we definitely saw something in Sam Williams. I think you get excited for him this year coming up because you saw just in small doses, and he can play the run. I think that's what excites you about Sam Williams is that he can set the edge too. He's big and he's physical, and that's what we need, somebody in the run game. It's kind of like the DeMarcus Lawrence, but I think he adds more pass rush element than a DeMarcus Lawrence. So I think we hit there. Tyler Smith, I think we hit there.
Yep.
Who else did we draft?
Jake Ferguson.
We hit there.
The corner. Bland.
Bland.
Y'all listen to chat too. All of the
Damone Clark.
Clark. Oh, wait. Man, clap it up. Clap it up for that draft class.
But once again, we have to hit on as we suck in free agency.
Right.
Yeah. And we will have to do it again.
They didn't have a plan for a lot of these picks that we're talking about that is kind of came to fruition because there was no plan for Tyler Smith. And I keep telling people that he wasn't even starting over Connor McGovern at left guard in Kent. If Tyron Smith doesn't go down, if Matt Waletzko doesn't go down, we might not even see Tyler Smith. So it kind of just worked out into our favor. So, I mean, if you don't have the injuries to Anthony Brown or Jordan Lewis, you might not see Deron Bland. So it's like they got lucky. But I'm with you, Big Game. They lean on this draft way too heavy. That's why they want to hoard all these damn picks and just throw a bunch of picks at the wall, hopes it sticks. So sometimes you win, sometimes you don't. But I'm kind of mad that Mike McCarthy spoke out that he wanted Trey McBride though last year. Got jumped, but
yeah, he got jumped on that one. That he really messed up on that one. Now, real quick, Tuck, we going right back to you. All right. So now we done talked about free agents. Now we go talk about what people came to see, right? Because I always start with the free agents because that gives us the big picture. So from the big picture, we can now see that we're lean in free agency. So let's kind of go through what I would say is your top sleeper guy. I think that's fair to say. Let's do a film breakdown on this guy, on your guy Josh Downs. So
Josh Downs.
Let me hit this button real quick, and then we go jump into it.
The OC.
The film breakdown.
Yeah, so with Josh Downs, wide receiver out of North Carolina, when I watched his film session, the first thing I noticed was his footwork. Tremendous footwork, his release, he can do it all. His route tree is fully complete, so he can be that underneath safety blanket for Dak Prescott, but also with catch and run ability. And he also has speed as well. So he's going to be your shifty slot wide receiver. That's where he's primarily going to play. But he had big production at UNC, even last year, going back to when he played with Sam Howell, even dating back to high school. He had 1,000 yards, all pretty much his entire career, right? Father played in the NFL. He can pretty much do it all. So I like what I saw from Josh Downs. The release, the speed, the burst. He's probably going to have a 42-inch vertical in the combine, reliable hands. I just feel like that's the caliber of player I'm looking for. Now, there's other candidates at the wide receiver position, like a Jackson Smith or a Quentin Johnson, but I just don't think they're going to be available. But I feel like if he's available at the 26th pick, he can be a player that can step right in. And we kind of think about, Schottenheimer's offense. He kind of gives you that Tyler Lockett type feel. Kind of reminds me a little bit of Dotson from last year, Jahan Dotson, in last year's draft as well. So underneath routes, quick slants, screens, all of it, full complete wide receiver that I feel like if you're able to add him to this West Coast offense alongside CeeDee Lamb and Michael Gallup, he can step in and have instant impact. So Josh Downs will be my sleeper pick at 26 for wide receiver spot.
Love it,
And who do you have as his comp again?
Kind of like a Tyler Lockett or Jahan Dotson out of last year's class. So kind of like that shifty slot wide receiver, has speed, over the top speed. Now it's not blazing speed like another prospect we'll probably talk about here in a second, right? But he can still get over the top. But crossing routes, underneath crossers, slants, the routes are precise. And the one thing when I really scouted him in my film session is even when the ball's not coming to him, it's max effort. So just a good player, very cerebral, has the mental aspect. I liked everything I saw about this prospect when I scouted him and dropped the video the other day. So Josh Downs would be probably my favorite pick to come to Dallas, and I feel like he can step in and be that reliable wide receiver that Dak Prescott desperately needs because he can get open.
Jay Tuck, before you give your next analysis, I want to know this so I can see through your eyes. What are the things that you look for out of a wide receiver?
Yeah, the very first thing I look for, and I've been teaching my community about this, is start from the base stuff, right? So start from the stance, look at their footwork. So when they come off the line of scrimmage, do they have a quick first step? Is it explosive? Do they counter step? Do they do a diamond release? Do they do a counter release? Like, what does their release really look like? But secondly, it's just like, how are they cutting? Is they precise on their cuts? Are they able to stick and plant, stick and move? That's the second thing I'm looking for. And then can they fight for the ball? So once the ball is in the air and they're catching in traffic, do they have the ability to go over the top and secure the catch? Is it reliable? So those are some of the things I look for. Now, a lot of these wide receivers that we'll see in this year's class, they're kind of like they fit that smaller slot mold with that catch and burst, right? So that's what I'm not really looking for, because the knock on a lot of these wide receivers, right, is that they play in the slot, they play in these spread offenses, they're not getting jammed up much. Like, what's going to really happen when someone gets up in their grill? But I feel like with the adjustments that we're making at the offensive coordinator spot, we'll be able to finally, knock on wood, scheme our wide receivers open. So I'm looking for guys that are just phenomenal, has the vision and space. And Josh Downs is one of those players I'm definitely have circled on my list. He's the very first pet cat, J Tuck pet cat. But like I said, he can just do a lot of things. And I feel like he can add to our offense, because in the West Coast offense, it's more of a horizontal offense. And so you're looking for those quick throws, those check downs, different things like that, slants, and get the ball in his hands and get the playmakers in space. And so I feel like Josh Downs definitely fits that mold.
And I love it because he's a sleeper. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That he's not somebody that a lot of people
for now,
are talking about.
For now,
True,
what I'm saying?
right? Yeah, it's a sleeper, because it's a whole lot of people that's starting to rise as people starting to learn more, and that does happen. You're right. The draft community does catch up. let's go ahead and go through your whole list real quick, man, and then we'll talk about it as a whole. Because I noticed something. Zay Flowers is on a lot of our list, and I would say Zay Flowers is probably the only receiver that most of us have in common. So I would want us to all kind of share this point on Zay Flowers real quick. We'll start with you, Tuck, and then go around.
Yeah, Zay Flowers, wide receiver out of Boston College. Another guy is a slot wide receiver, but it's very physical in the catch and run game. So like I'm saying, I'm looking for those underneath guys, those routers, like to get open. We have a playmaker. We have a star of CeeDee Lamb, so we don't need another CeeDee Lamb. But for a lot of those underneath, to move the chains, to get the ball in space, the catch and run guys, that is what I'm looking for in Dallas, and Zay Flowers definitely fits the mold. Now, some people say he's kind of small, but he doesn't play small to me when I watch him on the film. So, I mean, you get the ball in his hands, he is running to finish. Like, he runs hard, precise cuts once again. The route tree is fully there as well. So Zay Flowers would be another candidate that I would think about that could fit and instantly add impact to this Dallas Cowboys offense, because that's what I'm looking for, y'all. I'm not looking for no project. There's some other project prospects we'll talk about, but based on the free agents that we just saw and talked about, I need a guy that I know can come in, that's been in kind of a pro-style offense, can adapt easily, get on track with this offense, and we can get off running. I'm not trying to look for a player that's going to take 1 to 2 years to fully emerge, and I feel like Zay Flowers in this Cowboys offense would definitely be that prospect.
And Big, didn't you have Zay on your list as well, Big Dog?
Yes, I did. Zay, when I was looking at receivers, I was looking at, who would be good fits. And when I seen Zay Flowers, just like what Tuck said, he kind of reminds me of, Tuck is out there in KC, so he reminds me of kind of like the Sky Moore, the same kind of height, not, the same kind of size. One thing I like about Zay is when he comes off that line of scrimmage, I mean, it's no wasted motions in his routes, motions, and he can get up on you very quickly. And to Tuck's point, now he plays out wide too. He had 337 snaps out wide this past season, 166 in the slot. He can play both. That's what I like. He's versatile. You can play him in the slot, you can play him on the outside, and I like that. And if you look at his numbers in his 3 years, I mean, he damn near had 1,000-yard season every year. And touchdown guy, 12 touchdowns this past season, 2 years, 9 touchdowns. So that means in the end zone. And if you look at a lot of the plays in Boston College this past season, I mean, dude was chucking it down the field, and Zay was getting those balls down that's what we need. We need guys that can kind of spread that field, get up on that defense, and we haven't had a guy who can really go deep. We love him, right? But he works underneath. We need somebody that can get deep. And I've seen this guy in double coverage make some hellified catches, man. And another thing that I really like about this dude is that he's physical. He's got an attitude, man. If you really watch him in every play, man, he has a big time attitude. And that's what we need. We need guys with fire. We need guys with some attitude. And that guy plays with a lot of attitude, and that's what I really like about him. It's like what Tuck's saying. Not a big guy, but guess what? If you look at the league right now, it seems to me the last 2 to 3 years, it's going away from the 6'3", the 6'4". A lot of the 5'10", the 5'9", the 5'11s are starting to come back. They're starting to make some noise again. It doesn't always have to be tall guys. You can get those guys run that 5'10", 5'11". Those guys are compact because they have that quick speed, good hips, good feet. They can get up on you quick, and they can cause defensive backs. If they're trying to go with these big, tall 6'1", 6'2", these shorter guys can really put a lot of pressure on those guys, especially when you're a guy who's multifaceted, and you don't have to just say, well, he's a slot guy. No, this guy is versatile. You can put him and move him all the way around, and I think that's what the Cowboys need, and I think he'd be a great pick for 26.
And then OC, you also had Zay on your list, Big Dog. So we just going around, bro. So Jalin, Hyatt, and Zay is on a lot of y'all lists, and you had a long list. So what's your thoughts on Zay? OC, we obviously want to hear.
Yeah, man, I think Zay is my top slot in the whole draft.
Wow.
I think that this guy is a low 4.4 to really mid 4.3 type guy. He has a unique combination of not just top end speed, but elite quickness to make you look silly if you don't take proper angles and you don't have great footwork. He's a guy much like a Tony Pollard in the sense that he changes directions without losing speed. And so he's super unique in that way. And I love the fact that outside of my other guy that I think is pretty decent, Jordan Addison, he has the best hands. He's fluid. He doesn't body catch. And that's what you notice about some of these guys. They kind of body catch a little bit. This guy snatches the football out of the air. He high points it. He has moves, and he got a lot of swag. He plays with an NFL with a league attitude. He already has an NFL attitude. And so to me, I'm not saying he's on his level, okay? So I'm putting quotations around this, but I see a little bit of Tyreek Hillish in his game. And I think he could be super explosive. And he's a guy that I'm so high on. I think that if you got close and you needed to move up to get him, I will move up to get him. He's my top slot in the draft.
Why you got him over Parker Washington?
The reason why I have him, the reason why I have him over Parker Washington, Law, is that his speed and his quickness is on another level. Now, I do like Parker Washington. Parker Washington is a Penn State. He's a Penn State product. He's a guy that's tough. He's a guy that has a strong lower body. He's hard to get down. He doesn't go down with ease, right? He's a guy that does make catches in traffic. He has shown some return ability, but I think when you translate his game and you translate Zay's game transcends him from a athletic and speed and quickness aspect. And that's why I would have him over Parker Washington. But I think that Parker Washington is a great value slot, and I think he's a tough, just a real good football player. And I like him too. But Zay, in my opinion, is elite.
Yeah, and Parker's a little bit bigger. So it's amazing to me that all three of y'all so far be going with these small, tinier wide receivers, and the Cowboys historically in the last few years don't draft those type of guys or those type of builds. They've been drafting big, taller guys or what have you. And I think that that's coming from the scouting. That's maybe Chris Hall. That could be Will McClay. That could be the information that their scouting department kind of look at. They probably looking for a certain type of build. And it's quite strange to me that the build of the wide receivers also matches the build of the DB. So I can't wait to DB week. So I feel y'all on that list, but ain't no damn way the Cowboys gonna draft a wide receiver with the 26th pick that's not 6 foot.
They could.
Don't you think that we stockpile with those?
Because I'm gonna tell you why. Because this class really don't got them, in my opinion.
Right. They really don't.
It's just not
It's
there.
a small class.
Yeah,
That's why I said
it's
the last
a lean class.
couple years. The last couple years, it's my bad. I didn't mean to cut you off.
You good.
It just seems like the last couple years, just like you said, this receiver class isn't like the classes the years, in my opinion. Don't y'all think it's not even close?
It's one, bro. It's straight up one.
Yeah,
and they got some good ones, but it's not a lot.
They got some good ones, right? But the guys that are good aren't big. They're just smaller type guys.
Yeah,
and
I would lean on your boy from Ohio State then, Jackson.
I just don't think he's
going
to
be. To me, he's a CD Lamb clone.
Yeah, I don't even like Jackson that much. He's not that special, in my opinion.
Me too. Like,
you don't like him that much?
And that's,
he ain't that special in my opinion.
You think the Cowboys gonna pick Zay over Jackson if that comes to about if they looking for wide receivers at the 26th pick?
I think they should, because they're going to get more explosive plays out of Zay. I think they should.
Right.
I think that Jackson is a guy that's going to have an opportunity to come into the league, and he needs to learn. I don't see him really explosive after the catch. I also see him body catch, and I also see him go down sometime upon a first contact. I don't see him as being an elite guy. I think he's a good possession slot. He's a big possession type slot, right, if you're looking at Jackson, in my opinion. But he's not an elite guy. You can do much better.
No doubt. Look at this list right here. Quentin Johnson. Now, what if Quentin Johnson there? Do you think that they'll pass up on Quentin Johnson? I don't think that he'll be there, but you think they'll pass up on Quentin Johnson to get Zay Flowers?
No. I think they take Quentin Johnson because Quentin Johnson is big. He's physical. He's a 4-4 dude. He's a yak guy.
You sure he's 4-4?
Run after catch guy.
You sure?
He's not a 4 guy. He's not a 4-4 guy.
He might not be a 4-4 guy, bro.
I don't.
That game film look kind of.
I need to see it. Is he going to the combine?
I think so. Yeah.
He looks like a 4-4 guy, boss.
He don't look like a 4-4 guy to me.
I got the chance to watch Quentin Johnson up close, and when he played here in Kansas and also in the Big 12 championship game, and he just stood out. 4-5, I would probably say he'll probably be 4-5, right? But just with the size that Law's kind of talking about, it's all there, and he doesn't play 6'4". Like he's pretty much shifty. And I did.
He is shifty.
He's shifty as hell. He's 6'4", right? Yeah. But sometimes he body catches, sometimes he has lapses. We saw what happened in the national championship game when he pretty much got erased, right? But a lot of it was due to Max Duggan as his quarterback too. But if you're looking just for that guy that has the biggest upside possibility, I would say Quentin Johnston, but I think he more than likely is going to be the first wide receiver off the board. But I fell in love with him the first time I saw him play here in Kansas. I was just like, who is that? I circled him down. I even tweeted as like Quentin Johnston. Here we go. So,
Chuck, do you think he has boom or bust potential though?
Yep.
Yeah, he has huge boom or bust potential.
Yep, huge. Especially when you look at him in comparison to the last two classes. When you look at him, man, the last two classes, he would have been a third rounder last year. That's on the cool. He would have been a third rounder. Like, people need to think about this. Remember Watson last year, who turning up for Green Bay? He was in the second round. In this class, he would have guaranteed be the #1 receiver without question.
Watson, Pickens will be up there.
Where y'all have Alex Pierce though? Where y'all had Alex Pierce last year? Because I really liked him.
Alex Pierce was nice.
I liked him too, Law.
I liked
him
too.
Alex
Pierce was nice.
They missed out.
I had him as a top 7. I had him as a top 7 receiver. Law. I like Alex Pierce. I wish we would have got him.
Over or under, you had him over.
They went to his camp. I mean, they went to his pro day.
I had him over Jalen Tolbert. I had him over Jalen Tolbert, Law.
Did he get drafted after Jalin or before Jalin?
Before.
I think the Cowboys would have got him if he'd have failed. I'm looking for size. I'm looking for traits, man. I get it. I look at that list that you guys said, and of course I had Cedric Tillman on there. Don't shank me with the butter knife.
No, you good.
And I had as well as a Jonathan Mingo, and I know that's way down. I got him as a sleeper. When I look at those guys, I'm just looking at what the Cowboys tend to draft. Far as those wide receivers, and they looking for bigger body guys. And out of that list, man, I'll probably lay down and fall down on the sword for Jonathan Mingo because of his size, because of his separation that he can do. Now, I did see him get jammed up off the LOS, which kind of surprised me. Tyreek Stevenson did lock him up at the Senior Bowl, and I was like, hey, what's going on with this big boy? It was hard for him to get off the line a little bit. So that did brings up cause for pause for me. But when I hear him speak and I saw this kid come out of Brandon, Mississippi, I was like, I know. I'm a Mississippi guy, so I'm biased a little bit. And I saw him.
When I saw him from Mississippi.
Mississippi. So there it is. But he said he cloned his game after DK Metcalf and AJ Brown. So hopefully, man, you never know.
No.
You never know.
Mississippi sticking together.
But I got him in the third and the fourth. I got him in the third round though. I got Mingo in the third though. Look at that! Get y'all Texas boys got all of the talent over there. That's not fair.
Yeah, we actually do, bro. No,
Texas got too much talent, man.
You got a point, though. Let me look at because I'm not gonna cap like I know who this guy is, man. So he's somebody I'm gonna have to go put on my list and research because you somebody that introduced him to me. So his production. Let me look at his production.
You ain't gonna be that Gotti, but you just never know.
Hey man, I'm gonna bet all y'all.
That's my cousin.
I'm gonna bet all y'all.
That's loud, brother.
Hey, him and Ontario Drummond, baby.
Yeah. When I saw he was from Mississippi, see, that's where you messed up right there. When you said when I saw he was from Mississippi, no. Go ahead, OC.
Hey.
No, I'm gonna bet all y'all a $10 gift card. Well, no, you friendly wager, you and Tuck, man, that he runs. Quentin Johnston runs sub 4.5. I'm gonna bet you that.
Oh, you just
that he runs a sub 4.5.
Just say you in love with him.
No, I'm not in love with him. I'm saying I see him getting on top. When I watch his film, I see him getting on top of boys fast to be a big boy, in my humble opinion. And his run after catchability, man, and his shiftiness is great.
I see
you
number 2.
You said sub 4.5. You said sub 4.4.
No, I'm saying sub 4.5.
Okay. I want in on that wager. I want to see what he runs.
So you, all right. So you saying that he's not going to run a sub 4.5?
No, he's. I mean, he probably be in that 4 or 5 range, but I don't know. When I watch, I know, but Chuck was there. He saw him live, so I didn't. So he's going to have a better eye. But just like when I watched him, it just looks like that speed. It might be good playing speed, but the speed that when he gets into the NFL, I don't think so.
That's what I saw too.
Hey, let me ask y'all. Go
That's
around.
exactly
there.
how I saw it.
Go, this is how I like to do it. Then go around, and I know some people don't like this, but who do y'all have as a comp for him? And that give me a picture of Quentin Johnson even more.
I see a slower Jefferson.
Alshon?
No.
Alshon Jefferson? Oh.
No.
You mean Justin Jefferson?
That's Justin Jefferson. I see a slower Jefferson.
I went all the way back.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. In terms of his play
Go with your
style.
Alshon.
His play style. See, I'm not saying he got all the tools of Jefferson. I'm not saying he got all the tools of Jefferson because I felt like Jefferson was explosive. Like
I think he's a shiftier AJ Brown, man.
A shiftier
He's a shiftier
AJ
Brown.
Okay.
A shiftier AJ Brown.
I'm gonna go take another look at him because see, one thing that happened to me before, I ain't gonna even lie. I ain't gonna lie to kick it. I'm gonna keep it all the way real. When I first looked at Justin Jefferson, I didn't like him. It took me a while to come around to him. Then by the time I got to draft day, he was my #1 receiver. So that's why if you notice on these lists, I got J Tuck early wish list. I got big games early wish list because we don't know they 40s. We don't know they pro days. We still this is basically what we judging based on film. We don't once we get the measurables, we go probably reshuffle this whole list. It happens.
But you know what happened, boss?
In the process, we way early.
Super early.
Way
So
early.
people, look, don't shank us with the butter knife. But you know what happened when you look at Jefferson? When you were looking at his scouting tape and reports, you kept panning your eye over to Jamar Chase. That's just how that goes.
Yeah.
So the same thing could be with Cedric Tillman. You would look at Cedric Tillman tape, and then you'll pan your eyes around to Jalin Hyatt. So that's just how that goes too. So one will overshadow the other, and then all of a sudden you say, "Man, dog, they some dogs over there." So look, I know you got some film analysis on Jalin Hyatt. Do you got that already uploaded, boss?
No,
oh, you don't have that one.
I don't have the Jalin Hyatt.
But I saw Tuck break that down. Can you give me a little resources on that? Is Jalin Hyatt really a first round or a second round?
Yeah. And I said this in my video when I did the breakdown. I disagree with that because, and this is for the reason, I feel like Jalin Hyatt's going to mess around the combine and run around the 4.2. And like I said in my video, I feel like NFL teams they just love speed, right? You go back to the 2020 draft,
and rightfully
even though
so.
Jefferson was more complete, CeeDee Lamb was more complete. Hell, even Judy, it was just Ruggs, right? Ruggs, the speed. NFL teams love speed, so I feel like once you see Hyatt kind of come out there and run that 4.2. Someone's going to take them early. They're not going to let them slide. So there's a lot of work that needs to be done because, like you said, Law, in that Tennessee offense, it's a spread offense, and so they slinging the ball around, they running tempo. And Jalin Hyatt only really had 1 year of production, which was this year. You know what I'm saying? So it's like he didn't have too many snaps, didn't have too many reps, and he wasn't asked to do much when it comes to his route tree. When I broke down my video, it was just go. You know what I'm saying? It's a 9 route.
Yeah, just
get
go.
Out of here and go.
Right.
Yeah, and so some NFL team is going to take a flight on that, but I feel like for what the Cowboys do, it really just doesn't fit. Now, maybe in this new Mike McCarthy scheme, we want to attack downfield and stretch the field a little bit more. I just don't see that happening. So that's why I was kind of saying I don't think the Cowboys would be in on Jalin Hyatt, but I don't think he's going to slide to the second round after this combine, if we're being honest.
Let me ask you this, though.
Don't you dare take him in that first round, Dallas.
Don't
you dare take Jalin Hyatt in that first round. Don't you dare take him at 26.
Run no stop route.
Don't take him at 26.
Hey. Did Chris Olave 40 time made him a first round pick last year? Because I
Chris
did
Olave was more. Chris Olave had more in his repertoire than Jalin Hyatt. He is basic. That offense
who went
is
on
basic.
The foot chase right now?
Huh?
Who winning
You
the
said
foot
what?
chase right now? Foot chase right now, Chris.
Probably,
Or
probably Jalin Hyatt. But who do you want as a whole a receiver? You want
Chris Olave,
you want
yeah.
him.
Yeah.
We could tell Turpin to run straight. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I mean, because just like what Tuck said, I mean, if
Tuck
you
getting
looked at
messy.
Hyatt's production, he had none his first few years. He had no production. Okay, and then he just exploded on the scene. And when you watch the games, yes, that speed is great, but when the routes is all deep routes, he ain't never going over the middle.
Right.
He ain't never doing anything that route tree. So are you gonna spend a 26 pick on just speed?
Oh, hell no.
If he runs a 4.2, somebody gonna pull that trigger.
Somebody can.
Big,
I don't
sadly,
want to be Dallas.
Sadly, Big, I would take him. Sadly.
Big, I'm gonna take him too.
And I
I'm
agree
sorry.
with you.
I'm
And
just
Big,
real quick.
I
Y'all
also
go ahead and
agree
take
with
him.
you.
I'm not.
But it's
No.
this class that if we don't get no receivers early, we in trouble, dog.
But we okay though. But you can get a guy like Hyatt who's basic. Bro, other guys we just mentioned, Zay
No,
Flowers,
man,
he could
listen.
definitely
Let me
fall.
just say something.
Man, they gonna pick
Boss, Hyatt ain't gonna fall
Nope.
because Hyatt is a world-class sprinter. Hyatt is a world-class sprinter. If you look at the man, the man
World-class
is gonna
sprinters
run a
ain't great in the
4.2.
NFL.
No,
World-class
listen,
sprinters
boss,
ain't great in the NFL. How many world-class sprinters in the NFL?
Big, let me tell you something. He's a world-class sprinter and he got good hands. He runs the corner route, the 7, the 8, and the 9 like a genius, and nobody can cover him. When you turn on the tape, Big, and you look at him sprinting 10 yards past Alabama DBs and 5 yards past LSU DBs, these are the fastest defensive backs in the country, Big.
That's true.
They're the
That part
fastest,
true.
and he's running past them like he's their big brother, Big, and he's
That
gonna go
part
to that
true.
combine and run a 4.2,
That's
and
true.
they ain't gonna pass up on that.
He's on my list, OC, but I'm not picking him at 26.
Okay, but I am Big. I am. He's there, Big. I'm picking it.
I'm not.
Let me toss out a name, though. Let me toss out a name for y'all because this is an interesting prospect. And y'all know in the second round, the Dallas Cowboys like to reach for players that kind of got some red flags. What's y'all thought on Kayshon Boutte out of LSU?
Womp for me.
Womp.
Yeah. But it's
he's
early.
okay.
See,
He's
listen.
okay.
I'm gonna tell everybody. I'm gonna tell everybody. If I say womp right now, take it with a grain of salt.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, I said womp back in February.
Right. Just take it with a grain of salt. Cause see, some of these people, cause I trust Tuck eyes. If Truck see, some people when they say take another look, I'm gonna take another look. You know what I mean? Like if Big say, bro, go take another look, or if the OC say, go take another look, Allah, I'm gonna go take another look because sometimes, let's be honest. Can we all be honest and not be liars today? Every now and then we all watching film tired.
Oh, all the time.
And when you watching film tired, you can miss stuff. And that's why I'm glad we got us a panel. Because with this panel, somebody like perfect example. Big did me like that last year with Mooma. You remember that? You remember that? Because when you first told me about Mooma, Big, I was like, no, dog, I ain't seeing it. And you was like, boss, no. Go check out this game. And I was like, bet. And I came back and I was like, ooh, I must have been sleepy watching this dude film. So this does happen. So my initial, that's why I'm saying this out of respect, Tuck. My initial reaction from watching him, I didn't give him even 1 star, but it's early, so I'm gonna go take another look.
Okay.
Got a poll question going on here.
It's high risk, high reward. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause I feel like the talent is there, but you could crap out. You know what I'm saying? but if he's sitting there in the second round, I mean,
yeah, it's one of those.
I think he okay. I think he okay, Tuck. I think he okay. I don't think he bad. I don't think he great. I think he okay. I think he could be a solid addition that with that work he could turn up or he could turn down. That's what I think. And I watched him, so I'm with you. I'm with you on the statement. I get you.
All right, man. We're going to take a look at a couple of more people's lists. And matter of fact, I'm going to start with my list. All right. Let me go to my list real quick. My draft picks. Yeah,
I'm going to say red flags or green flags for Stephen Jones. Right.
Hey, I'm running a poll over here, boss. I said, how many routes did Randy Mouse run?
Right, thank you.
1, 2, 3, or 4.
Right.
He ran 2.
I ain't picking at you, big
Run
game,
past
Jay.
it.
And I ain't saying Jalen Hyatt
Right.
is Randy Moss, by the way. But if he runs a 4.2 anything, shoot, it's gonna be somebody.
Take it.
and see,
There it is.
And this is why I gotta see. This is why I'm feeling you, because even on Hyatt, I only gave him 1 star, and the only reason I gave him 1 star was because of the speed. That was it.
I see how crafty you are with the stars. I can't wait for the next show then.
Oh yeah, you got to do that. Yeah, cause this is how, when I watch your film, I'm gonna instantly label you whether you're a 3-star, 2-star, or 1 star. Every now and then I give you a 4-star. You know what I mean?
So 4 stars, your
Because
golden.
if we look at those other 3 guys that you have on your list, boss,
yeah,
Dale, Addison, and Flowers, they all speed. They may not have 4.2 speed, but they're running those. That little Dale, the only reason to talk about him is because you already got Turpin on the squad, but he is a total receiver. He's just a small guy, but he's a total receiver.
Yep.
Jordan Addison, a receiver, and he's got a good foot quickness and good speed. We already talked about Zay Flowers, where I said he got good speed.
Yep.
His feet are full, good hands, bro. I mean, I'm not hating on Hyatt. He's on my list. I'm just not going to take him at the 26. I feel like people will be reaching for that speed.
True.
We need more of a receiver type. I need more of a, I'm going to go at 26, just in my opinion. Speed is going to be around. You will find receivers that will drop, will still have speed. That is a fact.
But let me ask you,
Not like that. Not like that.
over here.
But do you think that Hyatt
But,
can
you
be
know, he a
coached
basic
up?
receiver, though.
Because the thing that Hyatt has,
Yeah.
he can coach. Do you feel like we could coach him up though? I feel like you can coach.
Who's
It
our
might
receiver
take a little-
coach?
Well. Here's the thing. I got
agree.
a super chat from Coach Marv, and he said that
You feel me,
Hyatt,
Tuck?
Hyatt is from his hometown, and he said Hyatt lacks toughness, and he's not a tough guy, and that's a problem. And he's surely not a 4.2 guy. That's for Coach Marv. He's been saying all the time.
That's what I'm talking about, Coach Marv. Coach Marv say he is not no 4.2 OC. Stop, OC.
He ain't tough.
He
said he ain't tough.
Oh, hell no.
Is it Terry Glenn?
We
Is he Terry
go
Glenn?
see. We don't need him tough. I don't care if he's tough. I care if he can run past you and catch the football. I don't care if he's tough. He ain't got to be tough.
Because if he catch one
He
pass
can be
and
as
get
pretty-
blasted and he out 5 weeks, he got to be a little tough. Speed don't
You
make
ain't gonna
no
blast him
change
when
when
he
you
run
on the
past
sideline.
you. If he run a 4.2 big, you can't tackle him. He gonna be in the end zone big, just like
disagree.
this. Touchdown.
Oh my God!
I think he's gonna clip that 4.2, y'all. I think he's gonna clip that 4.2. I think he's gonna clip.
Agreed, Tuck. Agreed, Tuck. He's just too fast, dude. You see him running past dudes that we say run 4.4s and 4.3s. He's beating these dudes by 5 and 10 yards.
Coach
He's
Marv,
beating these dudes by 5 and 10 yards.
I'm sensing some wee-woo. I'm sensing some wee-woo in the OC.
It's all fake news.
No,
It's phony
you ain't
stuff.
missing nothing.
It didn't happen.
The fear,
Oh, you see this guy? See this guy? Number one bullshit guy. He do the wee woo.
This is some
Sing
wee-woo.
it,
Get
OC.
as many buttons
You were
as
singing
you
it.
like.
Sing it, OC. Sing it, OC.
Listen,
Sing it.
I'm gonna say this.
Sing it.
No,
Sing how you were
no,
singing it Tuesday.
big, boss. You on the wee woo, okay? 100%. Because you turning down a 4.2. You turning down a 4.2 that has shown that he can run past the best defenses in the country, and you telling me that you ain't gonna pick up on him because he can't run the whole route tree.
Let's do this. Let's do this, OC. Let's do this right quick, OC.
Oh, you see this guy?
Raise the
See
gift
this guy?
card.
Number
Let's raise
one
the
bullshit
gift
guy.
card
He
to-
do
That's
the
your
wee
get back. That's your
woo.
get back, dog. That's your get back,
Hey,
dog.
hold
on. Now,
Hey,
hold
OC,
Lord,
let's
you
do
just
this.
mentioned- Hold up.
OC, this is why you gonna get T.Y. Hill, man.
Right? This is why you gonna end up with T.Y. Hill. Tuck, we gonna end up with T.Y.
It's too
Law.
much disagreement, so we're gonna get your T.Y. Hill,
Did you mention
man.
Terry
Right.
Glenn Law?
Yeah,
Did you mention Terry Glenn Law?
Yeah.
Was Terry Glenn a dog? Was he a full complement receiver with that speed?
And Terry Glenn was an animal.
Yes or
man.
no? Okay. Thank you.
She was
Thank
good,
you.
man. May he rest in peace.
Yeah.
But let me say this though.
Okay.
Big Game James. Me and the OC, let's raise it, OC. Let's raise that gift card to $25 for walk-ons if this dude don't get drafted in the first round if he runs a 4.2. Because he's going to get drafted
Got
in the
it.
first
Done.
round.
He's going to get
Done.
drafted in there in the first round.
Done.
If he runs
Easy.
the
Let's do
4-2,
it.
what team ain't going? You know, NFL tag on. Well, they get infatuated by them numbers, but that doesn't mean he's going to just because he ran that 4-2 and they pick him at 16. Let's watch that career that first year, and then let's make sure we keep that conversation on high. If he gets picked, like, let's make sure, because I'm going to bring it up to you if he ain't turning up.
Hey, it's all good, man.
He's going to run a 4-2. He's going to run a 4-2 and he's going to go get in the first round.
All right, y'all.
This is what you got to understand. The fear of death is worse than death itself. All he has to do is be a threat and run past them 1 or 2 good times, and all of a sudden, you open up everything short and intermediate. That's what a speed receiver does to an offensive core, and that's his value. He ain't got to go ham and catch 25 touchdowns. If he catches 5 to 8, that fear of him beating you over the top causes you to drop, which opens up the rest of the offense, especially if you West Coast, intermediate and short passing game.
It's
and
all
that
fake
is his
news.
value.
It's phony stuff. It didn't happen.
So one thing about this, I want to ask you this, OC. So you are not concerned just a little bit.
I don't care about your buttons, Paul. I don't care. Hit your button.
You are fake news.
You say you're not concerned about
I'm
any
wrong.
of it,
Come on,
that he
hit it
ain't
again.
had no
Hit it
damn
again.
production. No, he ain't had no damn production. No damn production at Tennessee besides this year. That doesn't concern you.
Okay, does Jalin Turbin not being worthy of
Yes
a
or
third-round
no?
pick concern you? Because he had no production in this offense. It was the right offense that matched his
But he
skill
had
set that
in his
caused him to get
career.
production in Tennessee.
He had production. He had production at South Alabama. He had production. We just said ourselves that this was a complicated offense. Everybody was kind of in agreement that I'm not making no excuse for Jalin Tolbert. I'll tell you right now, I'm making for him. But we do say that that was a complicated offense for the year 2. But that doesn't concern you that a guy just explodes the scene, and he hit the first couple years, explodes on the scene this year, and his main forte is just his speed.
It's how he exploded, Big, and that's what I'm talking about.
It bothers me, Big.
It's how he exploded and the level of competition, and that's what I'm concerned about. I'm okay, that's great, but it also bothered you to Dak threw a lot of interceptions, Boss Cowboy, and you blame a third of those interceptions on Kellen Moore's offense. So I'm telling you that schemes and systems, it matters. No, I'm saying simply it matters. So he was used. He had a coach smart enough, basically, to look at his speed and to look at his offense and to say, you know what? I'm gonna run this guy on every dude in the SEC, and I'm gonna see if they can cover this guy. And guess what? All season long, double coverage, single coverage, nobody could cover the dude. So that's a smart decision by that coach to pick a player and understand what his talent was and use him appropriately. And that's what happened at Tennessee, and that's how he exploded. I don't care about none of the other stuff. I care about what have you done for me lately, baby.
Oh, see, I got to ask you a real question. I got to ask you a real question. No capping either. Are you saying that LSU and Alabama has some serious elite speed corners?
I'm telling you that Alabama and LSU historically, I think they have that.
See, that's the wee-woo. That's the wee-woo.
No, I'm not lying.
That's the wee-woo.
Yes or no? He said yes or
No,
no.
that ain't wee-woo.
That's wee-woo.
That ain't wee-woo. Yeah, you have fast corners because you trying to pay me in
that was wee-woo.
Now you do that. Now you trying to pay me in the corner. And as soon as
you see this guy? See this guy? Number one bullshit guy. He do the wee-woo.
No.
You said historically? So you think I'm talking about historically, dog?
They have 4-4 corners, boss. Alabama and LSU have 4-4 corners. I just answered both y'all.
Those corners not gonna run no. I broke down the corners this week. They not fast,
so you
bro.
telling me Eli Rick's not gonna run a 4-4?
No, Eli fast, but Eli didn't even start, bro. He started 4 games.
You said I'm giving an example.
He didn't go up against Eli. Did he go up against Eli? No.
I didn't see the game. I don't know.
I did. He didn't go up against Eli, bro. He went up against them other corners, and them other corners.
He played primarily in the slot that game too. He was in the slot that game. That was the film that I broke down.
That wee-woo.
He was primarily in the slot. But
there ain't no wee-woo. No. So you telling me they don't have 4-4 corners?
Those corners were
not LSU.
Which tape I need to go look at, man? So I'm gonna pull this Jalin.
Go ahead, Tuck. What did you say, Tuck?
Which tape I need to look at, J Tuck?
It was the Alabama. That's the one I just broke down on Jalin Hyatt, but there's some more out there. But I would go look at the Alabama tape, but that's the one he really got. He got dirty that game. What did he put up that game? He did 207.
Oh, he smoked him.
He had 15 touchdowns this past season, so I need to know.
He lit them up.
Where's bad tape at, though? J Tuck, which bad tape I need to go look at on Jalin Hyatt? I need to know it's bad. I don't want to know the good.
He don't. Let's see. I don't. You might look at Georgia, maybe.
Georgia. I was thinking Georgia got some good DBs.
Yeah, I would take a look at Georgia.
He tore up everybody. He tore up Georgia too. LSU, Georgia, Alabama. He tore up all those teams. He tore them up.
He leaning on the OC, man.
Alabama. He cooked Kentucky. He cooked and then Pitt. He cooked a lot of people. They said the kid.
Tell me who Zay Flowers cooked too, though. So I can be on the same thing.
He's a one-trick pony, but it's a hell of a trick. It's a hell of a trick. It's like, that's the hard part about it, man. Like he takes the top.
Alabama 207, boss. You put it on the screen.
No, he
207 yards.
Yeah.
Oh, pull it back up, man. Pull it back up.
That game.
No, I ain't running from it, Low. You know I ain't running from it.
Put it back up.
I put it up here because I knew he did them bad, but I also know those corners over there, especially LSU,
boss.
They not fast, bro. I just know that.
Yeah,
Hey, boss.
Scroll to the bottom, boss.
Hey, boss.
Look at his average.
Yo.
2020, 276 yards total. 2021, 226 yards total. Loads on the scene. I'm just worried about Trick Pony, the 1 year wonder. That's all I'm worried about.
Late blossom.
It only takes 1 year, baby.
That's legit though.
Right. It only takes 1 year.
Big.
And he played, and most of his snaps was in the slot.
Big.
Right.
I'm gonna give you a comp. Yeah. Let me know if you think I'm
Coach
right
Marv, I see you. You said he fools gold. Coach Marv said he fools gold. He said he watched him 4 years. He's good, but he's more of a product of Tennessee offense. He may be fools gold. That's what Coach Marv said.
And I got that same smell.
I feel you.
Now this is my
breaking news. Pat Mahomes is the MVP of the season, y'all.
Hey,
I appreciate
finish your food, Pat. Finish your food, Pat.
Because we finna get into the final word, but before we do, I'm gonna get. This is my last thing I'm gonna say about him, and I want to get y'all thoughts on this. I see him as a much faster Cedric Wilson.
Okay, you weren't drafted. You wouldn't draft him, ball. Would you draft him?
I ain't gonna say.
Yeah,
that.
I would draft him
because I would say I would draft Jalin Hyatt. OC once again.
26?
Draft Jalin Hyatt.
I might do it at 26 if he's fast enough. Yeah, I would.
That's just me.
Would you do it at 26?
These mock drafts got us drafting him in the second round, and they got us going Joey Porter Jr. with the first. So if those two things hit,
if we got
a
now that would be dope. If you got a Joey Porter Jr. in that first, and you can still slide him in that second. Woo! I'd be I'd be up and down on that one.
I'd be cool with that.
I'm just worried about the bus, but that's all it is. I'm just
especially
worried
with
about it because you had a total of 500 yards.
Take advantage of that.
I feel
you don't stretch the field like that. You know, maybe it's going to be different.
Tell it,
Coach. I just don't see it. You know what I'm saying? Like it's the film is sexy as hell. You know what I'm saying? But when you look at it from the Cowboys standpoint, I just don't see how Jalin Hyatt just fits. Now, would I be upset if we picked him at 26? Absolutely not, because just with that caliber player, I feel like he can turn into being something if he's coached up. But when you look at the philosophy of what we're trying to do and what we've done historically, we just never attack down the field frequently to really get the value from a player like that. So that's why I'm looking at Zay Flowers and Josh Downs and Parker Washington, those types of players that can really help boost this underneath game. But I wouldn't be mad. Like you said, if he said
got some more breaking news, y'all. Quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys, Dak Prescott, is the winner of the Walter Payton Man of the Year.
They mad?
Award.
They mad?
I can see that.
They don't like that. They don't like that at all.
Didn't win Defensive Player of the Year. He both won Defensive Player of the Year. Womp womp womp.
So
Walter Payton Award, those interceptions.
I'm going to go ahead and start the final words. Okay. So this was our first official show. Obviously, man, we appreciate the big homie Jay Tuck, the new addition to the Final Word draft show. You killed it. We knew you would. It's gonna get better and better, dog. So my first thing I want to say in my final word is I'm happy that we are expanding the final word to people that's super qualified for this moment for sure. Jay Tuck has earned it. I ain't even showed so many predictions that he hit like like a prophet. Like that boy know what he doing and he gonna show his sauce as we do this more and more. Also, on the final word, I want to say that we didn't provide as much film this time because I was obviously kind of playing with the bells and whistles and getting it sexy. But next week it's gonna be all about film. We gonna likely come back to receiver too, because we gonna have a lot more questions answered as they start running those 40s and stuff. It's gonna make us have to revisit. And the next time we revisit, we gonna show y'all a whole lot more film. That the thing that I would say that we didn't do a good job today is we know these guys, but the whole point of doing this is gonna also be introducing these guys to y'all and then debating these guys out with the film. So Jay Tuck, he started nice, but as soon as he get comfortable, man, go ahead and get your gloves out, start swinging on these balls. You cool?
Man.
You cool? All right.
Ain't no swing going yet. You know.
Okay, cool. Okay, we got lucky this time. I
didn't shoot down my guy Josh down, so I was cool. All
right, cool. But my final word on the receivers is that receiver is lean in free agency. It's also looking lean in a draft. To me, that common sense say we gonna have to attack it early. If not round one, you gotta attack it in the first 2 rounds. You have to, if you're trying to team build. Because what's the whole reason of talking about we need weapons if you not go attack the weapons? We looked at the free agent market. It's clear that the few guys that we like, all the other teams gonna like, it's gonna cause bidding wars. So it's gonna likely drive us to the draft, and we're gonna have to get it right early. That's what I'm seeing as the tea leaves starting to unfold as we kind of unraveling weapons. So that's my final word on weapons.
I'm gonna have my final word.
All right, guys.
First of all, you got it. Here, let me go, and then you go right after me, OC. First of all, I'd like to appreciate Tuck for jumping on here. He does do a great job with the draft. I've seen his draft the last couple of years. Tuck goes, man, he really does, and I really admire it and respect it. And I'm glad that you're here because I listen to your opinions. So I'm really glad you're on here doing this draft because it teaches me some things. So I'm definitely glad that you came here. So I'm definitely glad about that, especially with our whole panel. I love all you guys and how we do it. But this is all I'm going to say is CeeDee Lamb jumped out there and said we need weight. So to me, I don't want the Cowboys, even though we got Jalen Tolbert coming back, right? And I feel like Jalen Tolbert is going to do better in his year 2, right? But we can't lean on that. I don't want the Cowboys to say, oh, we got Jalen Tolbert back. Or Michael Gallup is going to be healthy next year, and we got Jalen Tolbert coming back. So we're conditioned, we'll be okay, and we'll lean on that. That didn't work, Cowboys. Y'all got to stop doing that. The receiver class may be lean, but there's some guys that you can get out here. DJ Chark, we've been talking about. There's a few guys that can help your team right now. You can go on the draft and get aggressive right now. So don't just lean on your Jalen Tolberts and your Michael Gallups and saying we good. No, listen to your guy CeeDee Lamb say, hey, them guys was good, but we need. Did you hear what CeeDee Lamb said at the end? He said, but it could be that one guy. What we've been saying on the final word, or at least I said it like, it could be that one guy that can make the difference when we was talking about Daron Payne, right? Go get a guy like that because he can change your whole defense. CeeDee Lamb just said, we got a lot of guys, but it could be that one guy that could get you over the hump. So players are saying it. The fans are saying it. When are the Cowboys going to say it? My final word.
Love it. OC, man, I apologize about giving you all them sound effects too, bro.
No, that's all right. I know how. I know you play dirty. The whole community knows. Good. There you go. See? You did it again.
Oh, you see this guy?
You did
See
it
this
again.
guy?
You see, there
Number
you
one
go.
bullshit guy. He do the wee woo wee woo.
Wee woo. Exactly.
Sing it, OC.
Exactly.
Wee woo.
Wee woo,
No.
wee woo.
Sing it, yes, sister.
Yeah,
Wee woo.
exactly.
Sing it, OC.
Hey, look, first of all, shout out to
dog.
J Tuck, man. Great job today, man, being on the panel, man, and
Yeah,
good
he
analysis,
killed
man. Y'all make sure y'all support J Tuck, man. Follow his channel, man. Follow his content. Also follow him on Twitter. All right. But hey, my thoughts about it is this: is that, in my opinion, you got 6 to 7 guys that should fall between the first and the second round of this draft. And if the Cowboys want to upgrade and get younger in the draft, they will have the opportunity with a handful of receivers between the first and the second round. If it gets beyond that, you need to come off of it. How aggressive will the Cowboys be in free agency? Historically, they're not super aggressive. They're looking for value picks. So this makes sense to me that they would be aggressive on one of the top 6 to 7 wide receivers in this draft. So much more content to come, man. Don't forget to hit the like button, follow, share, and also comment on these videos too as well on all of our platforms, all right? It really helps to grow and to push the content in the nation forward, all right? That's my final word.
The OC.
There's no emotions, no friends, no loyalty.
Straight business.
Straight business.
Put hashtag straight business in the chat.
Oh man, my bad, man. They said I did you dirty, man. My bad. I ain't mean to do you dirty.
That's all right. All right, I'm gonna circle the block, bro. Don't worry about it.
Already.
They've
What's
been
up, man?
friends
Final
for
words with
30
you.
years, man. They're allowed to do that.
Exactly. Thank you, Big. For real. Final words, Tuck.
Yeah, man. First and foremost, y'all, thanks for having me on, man. This is the blast. Y'all know we family, man. So it's just natural. We just flow together.
Yeah.
But, most importantly, it shows the power of our community, man. If y'all missed that intro, just go back and watch the intro. It shows me starting off from scratch. It shows, OC talking about Micah Parsons. It shows DMV and Big Game J and Ball. Like, people got to understand, we don't have media teams or analytics teams. We do this because we bleed Dallas Cowboys football and we want to find the best solutions. And so that's where our passion really stems from when we're scouting all these prospects, watching hours of film, because trust me, it's not easy. It's a sacrifice, right?
Yeah.
But it shows the power of what we do in this content creation community, man. So I definitely appreciate each and every one of y'all. I value your inputs, all your thoughts, man. Sometimes players y'all mention, I'm like, I ain't know about that. Let me go double check. And I respect y'all opinion that much, man. But I'm gonna go ahead and say, because we ain't said it yet, but draft day, we're doing the final word draft show, ain't we?
Hell yeah, we doing it, bro. I was just waiting on you to say something, Big Dog. What you mean?
Yeah. All right, so just double checking, man. I'm gonna be suited and booted, man. So we definitely gonna chime in.
And also see Tuck. Don't see Tuck. Tell them the other part. Why is it dope that you go be suited and booted? Tell them the other side. They don't know.
Yes, I'll be covering the draft, man. I'll be in the media room. I was there last year in Las Vegas. So this year it's in my own backyard, man, in Kansas City. So we definitely gonna put on a show. Salute to my guy Darren Smith. So we'll be interviewing prospects. We'll be talking to players, give y'all a real behind the scenes look. So it's definitely gonna be fun, man. But I gotta do it with my brothers because it comes to the community first. That's what it's about, first and foremost. You know what I'm saying? We kind of just all leave our imprints, but we come back home. This is where I came from. This is where I started. This is where I'm always going to be. So definitely going to be a fun day on draft day. If y'all in Kansas City, definitely hit me up. We're going to be doing some parties, all sorts of stuff coming up. But just wanted to clarify that, man. But appreciate it. From the Cowboys standpoint, I'll say this because you guys already said it. The wide receiver free agents is kind of scarce. Draft is a little bit light. But here's my one request. If the Dallas Cowboys know there is a player that they need to get that can really change the course of this team, don't sit on your hands this year. Go and do whatever you have to do to go get that player, because I'm sick of sitting dormant and kind of letting the board fall to us. If you think that's a Zay Flowers, a Jalin, Hyatt, a Josh Downs, whoever that might be, you go get your player and you deal with the repercussions later. So hopefully the Dallas Cowboys, if you're not going to be aggressive in free agency, at least be aggressive in the draft, because you quote unquote try to rest on it for so long. And Will McClay you trust, well, go ahead and get your players, man. But I appreciate it. I can't wait till next week and we gonna rock. Well, what position we doing next week?
We doing running backs next week, fellas.
Okay.
We doing running backs next week, and then I'm open to whatever y'all say after that. You know what I'm saying? But I felt like we was covering the top needs when you talk about weapons, and then with what's gonna likely happen with the tag on Pollard and Zeke, it's looking like he gonna be out the door. So running back just makes sense. So we'll do. OC, you mad at me, bro? You mad at me? You
No, I'm good, bro.
Make
I ain't
sure I
tripping.
say, man.
I'm good.
Hey, also
I'm good, bro.
I also want to say something too, man, about the addition of Tuck before Law closes out. Is with the addition of J Tuck to the final word, the beautiful thing that you also get is somebody that's what we call has the Infinity Stones. Is that what we used to call it? You know,
right.
Did I say it right? The Infinity Stones.
Yeah, Infinity Stones. Thanos.
Yeah. So so like over time, this gonna likely evolve into like a super dope production. Like, cause he's dope at producing. I'm dope at producing, and for the first time, well, I did this with Sky, but we only did it for that weekend. Like, we gonna be going like weekly on this, so I'm just excited what's gonna happen from this, man.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, thank you for
doing
your
your
part.
groundbreaking.
What'd you say, homie?
It's gonna be groundbreaking. It's gonna create a ripple effect. So that's why y'all gotta like, share, spread the content, man, because that's what we about. We about educating our community and just putting y'all on, the best ideas to help our Dallas Cowboys finally get over this damn hump. So
facts.
No doubt, man. Hey, the table today was great, man. Shout out to you, J Tuck, man. You did an awesome job, man. And I believe everybody bought into what you were saying with the wide receivers and beyond. And we can't wait for next week. And shout out to my guy, Big Game James, the OC and Boss Cowboy as well. Last year we had 9 draft picks, 9 of them. And out of that 9, we had 3 of the guys that didn't really show us anything. Jalin Tolbert was the 3rd round draft pick, and we had an undrafted rookie to beat him out for that spot, and his name was Dennis Houston. What I'm trying to say here is don't fall in love with the draft picks, Dallas Cowboys. Figure out a way to package some of those picks together, and let's go get a known commodity, whether it's a big boy down inside as a defensive tackle, or it's a known commodity out of one of these wide receivers that's looking to go to a new team. Let's go get those guys to help us propel ourselves for the 2023 season so that we can ultimately get to this Super Bowl. I get it. We want these draft picks to flourish and do great things, but there's a learning curve and there's always growing pains and things like that. It's zero excuses for the 2023 season. We got some hard things that we got to do with this cap. We got to at least extend Dak Prescott, or we got to extend DeMarcus Lawrence, or we got to do something with Zeke contract, as well as I think $17 million count against the cap with Tyron Smith. So those are a lot of things that we have to look back at and see this thing and say, all right, what we going to do? Because at the end of the day, I don't care if you get Man of the Year award, second place for Defensive Player of the Year award. Nobody care about that. Nobody care about those accolades. We only care about one thing, and that's lifting up that Lombardi trophy. So let's figure this out. The best way to do it, we didn't see it happen over and over again. The team that danced during the offseason win the actual real season. So let's win this off season somehow, one way or another. That's my thoughts. I really appreciate y'all. DC for life. Salute.
3, 2, 1, drop it.
And remember, you're listening to nothing but the best.
Those grills, drop it hard.
Let's go.
It's time to
That's the final word. We dealt with the weapons. We gonna talk about the weapons again, man. The final word draft show, man. It ain't nothing like it. Let's go.
Yeah, I just wanna run it up. Count a check or something. I've been really in the field, let up. I've been really in the field, let her rush, I let her feel. Lately, I just wanna run it up. Don't need no deals, I make the deal. Have to take it to.
And if it was up to me, if it was up to little old me to make a pick,
that music,
it would probably go a little something like this. And with the 17th pick of the 2020 Dallas Cowboys NFL Draft, the Dallas Cowboys select CeeDee Lamb.
Walk away. Let's go. Go hard and go home, baby.
I will move down.
The smart thing would be to move down, but the Cowboys
His
normally
glasses
don't.
go
Boss could be a trade down here with Justin. We got to trade. We got to trade.
BossCowboySports and the OC
We gotta
and Skywalker. I said this the place to move
We were
down.
just here talking
Now,
Justin
listen,
Fields.
I said it loud and clear. This is
God,
the place
to the
to move
Eagles?
down.
Go hard, go home, go hard, go home, go hard, go home, go home. Touchdown like the end zone.
Let's go.
When the circle turn to my home, can't get me out of my zone. Go hard, go home, go.
I love Parsons as a rush defensive end, right? If you draft him and you put him on the end, turn him into another DeMarcus Ware. Let him rush the quarterback, get upfield, and create damage to the other opposing offense.
We got the
look,
pick.
Man, here it is.
We got the pick.
Yeah, this gotta be Parsons. Like, Parsons the best player available.
Go home. Yeah, these championship rings on my hands now. In my head, I'm top 10, yeah, that's hands down. You a squad, now you're looking man down. Funny how foes turn to friends now.
So the Cowboys just selected Jake Ferguson with pick 129. Hey, I'm good. I love the pick. I love the player. I know that a lot of people will say that this is probably a reach. This is about where I had Jake Ferguson. Really solid player from Wisconsin. He can do all of it. He can block. He can run routes. He can actually make people miss in the open field.
Have a race car like a Atari now. Call filling up, I need product again. Treat the business like a playground, might slide on you. Do me wrong, might foul. Do a backflip, cause I'm mad rich. I'm the definition of what that is. Go hard, go home. Go hard, go home. Go hard, go home. Go hard, go home. Touchdown like the end zone. When the circle turn to my home, can't get me out of my zone. Go hard, go home. Go hard,
Let's go.